Today we look at some of the beasts that made Star Wars collecting great again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, Mando number 5, and I'm Keith Guppy. So yeah, this is part 2 of episode 15, covering the Saga line, and today I'm going to go over the big boys of the collection, the really smart ships, vehicles they launched for the line back in 2005, 2006. We're also going to look at some of the battle packs and the multi-packs, but I've had such great feedback from the previous video where I covered a few of the figures. I'm going to pull out a few more figures that I really love because there's some absolute smart figures in this line. So we'll just spend 5 minutes on that first before we get into the big boys. But I hope you enjoy. If you're liking it, then please subscribe. Please comment as always, and hope you enjoy. Yeah, so let's look at a few more of the figures. I think this line's so great, it warrants it. But I want to thank Wayne Russell, one of my watchers, who mentioned a couple of the exclusives I missed out on, or variants. He mentioned the French Solution Trooper, and he also mentioned the Darth Vader, Woolworth's Darth Vader. I've got them somewhere, I just can't find them at the minute. But sorry Wayne, but first of all I'm going to show everybody this really cool droid, which is the Mace Windu's astromech droid, which I think, sorry Wayne mate, I know you need this one. But yeah, it's really cool droid, one of my favourite droids, bright purple. I mean, if you put that with the Jedi fighter from Mace Windu, it would be absolutely cool. So yeah, and in the background you've got a gunship, and I'll mention the background art again, which a lot of you commented on. It's absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's the Mace Windu droid. So just randomly, we've got then Sora Book, I think that's the name. Was obviously in Geonosian Jedi fight, like a Weequay Jedi, really cool. I mean, look at that background. Look at all the Jedi in the background. Really lush figure. Really nice. I absolutely love that. I expect he got about 1 second of screen time, but a really cool figure. So I love that one. And then I watched, I don't know about you guys, but I watched Empire Strikes Back at the cinema for the first time last weekend. What a great experience, and it reminded me of some of the figures. So you got Major Bren Durlin, yeah, with the old moustache, and I reckon this is pretty good picture of him. You've got the X-Wing briefing in the background, and you've got a C-3PO droid in the background. Great figure, and there he is himself. So I think that's probably the only figure of Bren Durlin you'd actually find, but he was a cool character. I love that. So that was that one. And then you've got, same film, you've got General Veer's figure. And I like this because you can swap out, you've got his armour there, and you can swap it out. There he is normally. There's the actor obviously there. And look at the background again. Look at the AT-ATs in the background. It's absolutely great. I love it. I love it. That's General Veer's. Then we've got a couple pod racers. We've got Dude Bolt and Mars Guo. Another great 2-pack. I think these figures actually did come out later on in a multi-pack, so I don't really that exclusive, but they look great. Look at the pod racing stadium behind. Really cool. You know, and I had to show these again. Some of these figures, these are brilliant, aren't they? We all love seeing the different figures, and I could go on and on and on. I've got R5D4, not because of the figure, but look at the background. You know, you've got the droid capture, that really crisp photograph of the background. It looks absolutely cool with the other two there, so I really love that one. Then we've got Commander Bakara. Brilliant. I mean, look at the troopers, the snow troopers in the background, Galactic Marines. Look at them. Oh, brilliant. I love that as well. That's fantastic. I wish I could just have photographs of these around the room. It's so cool, some of the backdrop pictures. So there's, and Commander Bakara was from the Hero and Villains small series of 12 figures as well. And then you've got Garradin again. There's a few iterations of him. This one's probably my favourite. I mean, it's got a really nice soft cloak, really cool figure, really nice. And then he's got his Legion Stormtroopers right behind him. That's brilliant. Love that. Love that figure. And then you've got another one that's in demand because it's from the Cantina, La Bria. Again, there's been a couple of iterations of this, but that's probably a favourite one. I'm sure they must bring that as a vintage collection at some point. But it's got the band members in the background, scene from this Cantina. That's going to be a really popular figure going forward. So really, really cool, that one. I think I haven't showed it before. I've showed it in my Clone Wars cartoon episode where I showed all the figures from the Cartoon Network series. So check that out. It's really cool and interesting. This is VLAUE Madama, who got killed by General Grievous. A really, I mean, if you had this figure in your hand, a really chunky, heavy figure. There he is in the cartoon, but he gets slain by General Grievous. What a fantastic figure that is! It's absolutely huge. And I've always said what I'll do towards the end of my Focus Line series, I might just weigh the heaviest figures and tell you what the heaviest figure is ever produced. And I expect you've got some figures in mind, but I think that'd be really quite interesting. So we'll do that. And then I've got a Luke, but you know, not a boring Luke, a Tatooine Luke where he's got his goggles. I think this is from the deleted scene. He's got his little chest with his lightsabers in it. But I thought it was really cool. Moisture evaporators in the background. Again, a great figure, and I really love this line. It's so cool. So that's that one. And then finally, I mean, there are quite a few unique clone troopers in the series. There's a lot, but this is quite a unique one. This is a clone trooper 5th Fleet Security clone. In the background, you've got a gunship, you've got a Jedi fighter, a load of other ships, but really cool figure. Really nice. I thought we'd get him out because he's quite unique and quite rare. So yeah, and they all fit in this lovely pack I've got. This little toy display pack I've got. It's a little bit ropey, but yeah, I thought it was really worth just going through a few more figures. But cheers, Wayne. Thanks for the info. And anyone's got any other info on any of the figures I show, then I really enjoy reading that. So I think they produced 6 battle packs in the line, and something really interesting that everyone should take note of is this obviously followed the Revenge of the Sith, which had the bright orange line. So there was a bit of a residue Star Wars logo thing going on where they had orange logos. I think this is the only battle pack, but you'll see later on that they had a Millennium Falcon and a TIE Fighter that did exactly the same. It was all orange themed with no Saga mention of Saga collection on them. None of the battle packs actually mention Saga collection, which is quite interesting. But these battle packs were pretty good. I've got 3 of them. I need sort of 3 of them. This is a Jedi Temple Assault. Really cool pack. You've got Darth Vader with a little bit of scarring, and you've got some 501st, and you've got a pilot as well, Arc 170 pilot. It's a really cool set. Yeah, on the back you've got a dramatized sort of version, a picture there, so that's really cool. But yeah, really nice pack that is. I think there was 6 produced, but I like if everyone knows how much they did them both in the orange and silver. I don't think they did because I've had a little look. I think it was just this one in orange, but yeah, so cool packs. So that's that one, and then we've got the Sith Lord attack. So in the Naboo hangar, you've got Obi-Wan Kenobi smashing some droids. You've got a security droid with the like red lapels on him. Really cool pack, and then you got some Naboo fighters in the background. That one there and the previous one you can probably get for 30 or 40 quid these days. Like I said, I missed a few of them. This is probably one of my favourites, apart from the Hunt for Grievous, which I'll put a picture up of. I mean, this is the Mace Windu's Attack Battalion. They are cool. I mean, yeah, look at the purple. Look at the purple figures in there. They're really, really smart. And you've even got a clone commander. Look at that purple helmet. And wow, yeah, really nice figures and set. You imagine that with the Mace Windu's Jedi fighter and the Mace Windu's droid that I showed earlier on together. That would be absolutely cool. Yeah, that's one scene I like to do. Yeah, there they are on the back. It just says clone commander. It's not got a name, which is cool. Like I said, the other ones I haven't got are the Sarlacc Pit one, Skirmish in the Senate, and probably the most popular one of the line is the Hunt for Grievous Cartoon Network version, which goes alongside the Republic gunship, which I'll show you later on from the Cartoon Network. I mean, that battle pack's probably 100 quid plus, because it's got all the figures you really need for that gunship. It's a really cool set, and I'll put a picture up again of it. But yeah, that's the battle packs. But if anyone knows the difference between the orange and silver logos and when they did what, then I'll be really interested to hear for you. Yeah, this line, like most of the lines, went to town on the multi-packs. So here are most of the multi-packs here. You had a Star Wars shop exclusive Lucas collector set with some really cool unique figures. You got George Lucas in here as Baron Popanodia, I think it is. But a really cool set. I mean, the artwork on here is great. I won't pronounce the rest of the names because you'll just chuckle at me. But, you know, most of you know this set. This is a really cool set. Probably, I don't know, 70, 80 quid, I expect, if you want him now. But really cool background as well. So they had that one. And then one I probably should have mentioned in the first video was the Early Bird set. So this is a throwback to obviously the set that came out in 1977-ish. But a really cool set. This one's graded U90, so it's in the old-fashioned tray. I haven't got the actual card back, but I'll put that up. But yeah, quite a cool set. I don't know what possessed me to get this graded, if I'm honest, but yeah, I've not seen another one. So this was a Walmart exclusive early bird set. And then you come and moving on to some of my real favourites of the line. You had the two Astromech Entertainment Earth exclusive sets, and these have always been really sought after. This pack has gone from, don't know, 80 quid to 200 quid, back down to about 100 quid a pack now, probably maybe 80 again. But back in its time, it was really sought after. Some really cool droids. Probably most of them you can't get anywhere else. But if you're into your Astromechs, now these are sets you must have. So from back in 2005, but really cool. Love the packaging as well. So you had those ones, and then you had this one here. This one's probably a little bit more sought after because that grey one's really nice. You got the red one. Yeah, cool, really nice. I'm not going to read them all out to you, but really nice set. A few times I've really thought I need to get these graded really, because these are in real good nick. But yeah, and then you also had, they did 3 other multi-packs. They did the Commando one, which is really cool. I used to have that grade and I sold it, but I'll put a picture of the Commando set. Is really nice. And then they did something that's well overdue. They actually brought out all the bounty hunters from the Empire Strikes Back scene. PR exclusives brought this out. Really cool set. If you're into your bounty hunters, you've got to get this. It's got all the bounty hunters in one set. Really nice set. Really well presented. I love this set. And then they are all on the Executor, I think it was, the Death Star. Star Destroyer. Yeah, from 2005. But really nice set. Yeah, cool. And then finally, one that's got some real exclusive figures in it again is the Death Star briefing scene from A New Hope. And they're set quite far back, so it's quite difficult to show you some of the figures, but you've got at least 4 or 5 figures in here that are exclusive to this set. Now, this set and the Bounty Hunter set, they probably only go for about, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 quid. Now, I would have thought something like that would be going for 150, 200, because it's really cool. And I quite often talk about sets that are overpriced, but this for me is a set that's underpriced. So if you go on the back, you've got, yeah, some of the real, you've got Colonel Wolf, Vallard in a white suit. You've got Officer Cass, Chief Bast, General Tag, Admiral Motti, who gets strangled, Grand Moff Tarkin, and obviously Darth Vader. But what a brilliant set that is. Really cool set. Absolutely love that. It's got like a bit of a table in front of it. I don't know whether you can pull that and actually sit them on it. I don't think you can because it's probably cardboard, but it looks absolutely cool on display. Really nice set. Anyone who's in A New Hope, you need to get that. They also bought a few what they call DVD commemorative packs that didn't ironically include a DVD. So they did 3 of these. They did A New Hope here, so it's quite cool packaging. And they did a load of these for the Revenge of Sith a year earlier as well, but they've changed obviously to the silver lining on this one, the silver logo. So that was Darth Vader, Obi-Wan in Luke Skywalker. And then they did the Empire Strikes Back one. So you've got Stormtrooper, Chewie and Han. Really cool logo on the side with Boba Fett. Shame he wasn't in there. So that was that set. And then probably my favourite of the three was the Return of the Jedi one, because in that set you've got 4 figures. You've got a C-3PO, which looks quite unique. It looks a bit tatty to me, so that's quite unique. R2, the Emperor, and Luke, and it's got a green sort of haze around the logo on the side. So really cool set. I like that. And you've got a little picture of Endor battle in the corner. So that's probably my favourite of the 3. And then some people don't know, but they actually did Argos, got on in the act, and Argos did a exclusive pack back in the day called Jedi Knights. So nothing exciting about the pack, and there's your typical stickers you get when you buy something in Argos. And that's actually says Boys Toys, but this is in Argos. So again, all these sets probably not worth much more than you purchased them years ago. Maybe 25-30 quid. That one there's probably a little bit. I pay a little bit more for that one because that one's really cool. But the Argos one, 20 quid, and that's probably what it was in originally. So there you go. So that's most of the multi-packs and stuff. Let's go on to the vehicles. Oh, I nearly forgot. Entertainment Earth also brought out a line of Clone Troopers, Clone Trooper Builder 4-packs, which again in the day they were very well sought after. They did just the white versions, and they did the coloured versions. Both came out in a dirty or clean look, so there was actually 4 sets to get. Now unfortunately these have got a real tendency to fade, and it just shows the different types of plastic. I mean, that set there, that's the clean set of white troopers, and that is minty. There's no discolouring there at all on the set. Really nice set. And on the back they actually advertised the coloured ones that you could get in the set. Really nice. But unfortunately they then brought out also the dirty ones, which have got a little marks on their chest, if you can see them, little gun marks. But you can see how badly these are faded, real badly. And I don't know whether it's just the ones that were dirty that faded or not, because they had different plastic on them. So again, I'll be interested to see who's got these and if yours are faded. And then finally, here's the coloured set, which again, this is the one with the dirty chest, but they've literally yellowed really badly. And none of my stuff's out in the sun. It's in a dark room, so there's no reason for this to change colour. But if anyone's got a coloured set this with the dirty chest pieces that are clear, then let me know, because it might just be, I don't know, they've been subject to sunlight at some point in time. But a really nice set if they weren't so blooming faded. But yeah, so sorry, I nearly forgot those. So let's talk about some of the vehicles in this line. And this line's got some absolute beasts and some of the best ships or vehicles you need to collect if you're really into Star Wars modern day collecting. This is Kit Fister's Jedi Starfighter. They're about, I don't know, 5 or 6 of this sort of size vehicles. You had Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, which I haven't got, unfortunately. You had Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. You had Darth's TIE Fighter in this size of vehicles. And you had Mace Windu's Starfighter. Unfortunately, I haven't got any of those. I probably got too involved in getting them in other versions to think about it, so I was quite surprised I haven't got them. But this is Kit Fister's one. It's got again the little logo in the corner saying what film it's from, and on the back it's got a picture. This one appeared in the Cartoon Network, so there's a little Cartoon Network version. But really cool ships. And then just going up a little stage, they did the Rogue 2 Snowspeeder with the orange pieces on him, with the exclusive Zev Sineska figure. And actually I had a good look at him. And he's actually really quite close to looking like the actual actor, with quite a pointy nose on him and stuff like that. So quite a nice ship actually, this one. I probably need a bit of a dust off, so sorry about that. But yeah, pretty cool with the plastic on it. Quite a good setting. Got a little bit of snow setting in the background with a tauntaun in the hangar. but quite cool. Some nice graphics on the back. There you go. So yeah, quite nice. A picture of going into the Hoth base with a turret gun in the background. But yeah, really nice that ship. But I imagine quite hard. Mine's a bit tatty, if I'm honest with you. So quite difficult to get. And then they did the big wing TIE fighter. I think this was the first large scale TIE fighter, which was more screen accurate, but pretty cool. Now, as I said before, most of the later Saga line 2006 was in the silver packaging, but they did this one as well as an exclusive. I'm not sure who it is with, in the orange line, which I haven't got. I've been trying to get it for years. And they also do a Millennium Falcon in that gold look line as well, which again is really difficult to get hold of. So they're two of the figures that I've been trying to get hold of for many a year. But this one's pretty cool. I think it was the first big wing they did. It's got exclusive TIE fighter pilot in it. But yeah, really cool figure. And luckily this one's not got elastic bands. It's got a bit of rubber, so he's still not flying around in there and not loose. Yeah, so now we're really up in the game, and this is Luke's X-Wing, which is really unique because it's got the Dagobah scene, it's got the green sort of weeds and growth on the ship. It's a really, really cool pack. It's got the dragon snake, or whatever you want to call him, monster in there. And there are, I believe, two variants where that dragon snake, which I'll try to show you there, is in two different places in the ships. There are two variants of this. Unfortunately, my wing has fallen off the ship, which is quite a common thing. It's never been opened, but it fell off. It's got a Luke in there, which I don't think is unique. It's probably the same one that you've got in the other lines there. But really, really cool packaging. Really nice. Dagobah scene in the background. And obviously it's a larger scale one as well. So I'd imagine one of these would probably cost you, I don't know, 100, 150 quid these days, if it's in perfect condition. But I'll see if I can get a picture of the other variant for you as well. So now on to the best gunship that they produced, in my opinion. This is the Republic gunship from the Cartoon Network series. Amazing. Look at the teeth on it. Look at the dragon's teeth on it. Amazing. If anyone hasn't watched the Cartoon Network series with this in it, you need to watch it now, because it's amazing. All I'm going to say is gun it. Brilliant. Brilliant scene. Brilliant scene. All the troopers in there. Like I said, that's why the battle pack Hunt for Grievous is so popular, because it goes perfectly with this. One of these sealed is probably going to cost you 300 quid plus, I would imagine. Very rare, little bit seen from the Cartoon Network there. And again, if you haven't seen my video on the Cartoon Network toys, then have a look at it, because you'll be really surprised at what's included. But really nice set. This is really mint. Got a little couple marks, but pretty good box, sealed box, but really nice, and one of my standout favourite ships, and the best in my opinion gunship. Okay, and then we go bigger again. Here's the AT-AT, the Endor AT-AT. Absolute great figure. So it's got two troopers and it's got a biker scout and AT-AT driver, but it's really cool because it shows you all the mud, and this version's got a real muddy feet on him. Obviously from the original mould, but very unique, slightly enhanced guns, chin guns, like the one from the Blue Line collection, but really, really cool. One of these probably cost you 200 quid, I would imagine, but a really, really nice vehicle. Love the background. This one's again sealed, really nice and mint condition. Really nice, one of the standouts in my collection. I really love this vehicle, but you can see how great the weathering is on it. Look, all over it, the Endor one. They made a really great effort of enhancing this for the Endor scene, but really cool vehicle. Absolutely love this one. So finally, let's have a look at the big boy of the piece, and again, one of my big favourites. So here it is, the real highlight of the line, the Imperial Space Shuttle. What a great vehicle. Only the third iteration of this vehicle. You obviously had the original vintage in the 80s. You had the blue Saga version, and then this one with the black backdrop on it. The episode, Return of the Jedi episode 6 logo in the corner, but it came with 2 exclusive figures. So I think this is probably the best modern one they did. Really sought after. Probably now £400+ you'd have to spend to get rid of these. This one's mint in a box, never been opened. You've got a picture of it in the hanger there. On the back, you can see a few of the things it does. The cockpit opens, fold away ramp and all that business. It's that the same sculpt as the original vintage one, which is why it's in such demand. I saw a loose one of these go the other day for £200+, so really in demand still, and a fraction of price. If you want to buy a original vintage one, you're talking probably £800-900 before you even start looking at good condition ones. Yeah, and on the other side, picture of it in the hangar from Return of the Jedi, and then back to the front. And like I said, I really wish they did this in TVC line, because it could be a huge vehicle and be really, really cool. But there you have it. So let's move on now to how much you have to spend to get this whole collection and what you need to finish it. This is obviously part 2 with the vehicles and battle packs, but we'll include all the cards, all the figures, and give you those grand totals you want to see. So as always, I've gone through recent eBay sales and pieces that are on eBay at the moment for sale to give you the value for the Saga collection. Now, as I said at the start, there are a huge amount of figures in this collection, and I covered that in a bit of detail in part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1 of this video, then go back and see that before I give you the values. So there are 121 actual figures, plus or minus maybe a couple of exclusives. And to get all of those, you would have to spend just over £2,000. I reckon about £2,070, an average of about £17.11. So although there's a few highlights in the series, they're not massive prices for some of the real nice quality figures, and especially the backdrops you get with this line. And then the exclusives, there are 11 of those, and you'd have to spend about £320 for those, at an average of £29 each. And then the multi-packs, there were 12 of those, and some really nice ones like the Delta Squad, the Command of Delta Squad. And they would cost you about £540 at an average of £45 each. And then the battle packs, only 6 of those, gold and silver logo ones. And you'd have to spend about £42.50 for each of those 6, which comes to £255. So it's beginning to rattle up a bit, isn't it? And then finally the vehicles, there were 15 of those, and you've got things like the shuttle, which really elevates the numbers. To get those 15, you'd have to spend about £1,490 at an average of £99.33, because you've got the AT-AT and the shuttle, which really bumped the numbers up, and obviously the big X-Wing. So what does that give us as a grand total? £4,735 for the Saga line. So in the grand scheme of things, that's probably about average for most of the lines, actually. But there's some really cracking figures in this line that I really love. What do I need to get to finish the collection? Well, I need to spend about £500, as you can see. I need about £100 worth of multi-packs, a few battle packs. There are a couple remote droids you can get as well, which I didn't actually show in the video, but they're quite difficult to get a hold of. And then finally, I need a few of the vehicles, a few of the Jedi fighters that I went through earlier on. So I'd have to spend about £520. But yeah, £4,735 to get this line. Anyway, hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next week with another line.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mando number 5.